What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, daily news, pretty much everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., money, investing, the stock market, everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Remember that new videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. I will keep you up to date with everything going on here in our country. And if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. A lot going on here. Let's jump right in. Last night, CNN suspended Chris Cuomo, the brother of former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. They suspended Chris Cuomo indefinitely as quite the scandal is now evolving, and this is becoming national news. Yeah, of course, Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, resigned for inappropriate um, material with women. And now Chris Cuomo has been suspended, the brother from CNN as well. Yeah, you can see here CNN has suspended news anchor Chris Cuomo indefinitely following new revelations about his involvement in the harassment case against his brother, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, a Democrat. Quote, the New York Attorney General's office has released transcripts and exhibits Monday that shed new light on Chris Cuomo's involvement in his brother's defense. CNN said in a statement to The Hill on Tuesday evening. Quote, the documents, which were not privy to before their public release, raise serious questions. When Chris admitted to us that he had offered advice to his brother's staff, he broke our rules, and we acknowledge that publicly. But we also appreciated the unique position he was in and understood his need to put family first and his job second, CNN said. However, these documents point to a greater level of involvement in his brother's effort than we previously knew. As a result, we have suspended Chris indefinitely pending further evaluation. The network said on Monday evening it would conduct a thorough review of the documents made public by the New York Attorney General's office as part of its investigation into the former governor, his brother, Andrew Cuomo, who resigned under pressure in August after State Attorney General Letitia James's detailed harassment allegations against him from nearly a dozen women. The documents show that Chris Cuomo's texting with former top aides to his brother, asking to be included in the planning of former governor's crisis public relations campaign after the allegations were made. Yeah, in one text message exchange in March, Melissa Del Rosa, one of the former governor's closest confidants, asked Chris Cuomo to check with his sources in the media about additional women coming forward against the governor. He replied on it, according to the documents. In another text message, Chris Cuomo told Del Rosa he had a lead on the wedding girl. An apparent reference to a woman who accused Andrew Cuomo of inappropriate contact at a wedding they both attended. Yeah, this is becoming a major national scandal with the New York governor, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and now his brother, a major public figure from CNN, Chris Cuomo. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, says that the Fed will consider a faster taper and possibly raising interest rates faster to possibly curb inflation. This was part of the reason the stock market had a drop yesterday. But a lot of people consider that this is possibly a good time to buy into the stock markets. But yeah, so the Fed is considering a faster taper of the stimulus that the Fed is doing right now, buying bonds as part of the Fed's stimulus. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said Tuesday that high inflation has spread beyond areas of the economy most affected by the pandemic and may prompt the bank to pull back on stimulus sooner. This is not the stimulus package, but this is kind of the Fed's stimulus where they buy bonds and kind of affects Wall Street. In a Tuesday hearing before the Senate Banking Committee, Powell said that stronger economic growth and faster price increases, inflation, could push the Fed to taper its monthly bond purchases at a faster rate than initially planned and possibly raise interest rates here in the future as well. Quote, we're now looking at an economy that's very strong and inflationary pressures are high. The Fed has purchased $120 billion in treasury bonds and mortgage backed securities since March of 2020 to help keep borrowing costs low as the U.S. recovered from the recession. The bank announced last month it would purchase roughly $70 billion in treasury bonds and $35 billion in mortgage bonds, mortgage backed securities, which are directly tied to home mortgages, a reduction of $10 billion and $5 billion respectively, and continue at a similar rate until the purchases end. Yeah, this comes as annual inflation has reached the highest number in the last 30 years. So, inflation is on everybody's mind, and they're trying to figure out how to curb that and also trying to figure out how to take care of inflation, take care of the people, and most notably, take care of people that are affected most by inflation, which is low income people, and also deal with this next stimulus package and deal with the government shutdown and the debt limit and the next stimulus package, all which the Congress and Senate have to deal with kind of right now. Here is Senate Majority Leader speaking on several different things here last night. Check this out.
Mr. President, there's another critical priority that the Senate must also address before the week's end: passing a continuing resolution that will keep the government funded beyond the December 3rd deadline. As soon as tomorrow, the House is expected to take action to pass a CR that will fund the government into next year. Senate Democrats are ready to pass this legislation and get it done as quickly as possible. To avoid a needless shutdown, Republicans will have to cooperate and approve the government funding legislation without delay. If Republicans choose obstruction, there will be a shutdown entirely because of their own dysfunction. We cannot afford to go down that road. As winter begins, the last thing Americans need right now is an avoidable, Republican-manufactured shutdown, potentially harm millions of federal workers, harm their families, and harm local communities that rely on an open and functioning federal government. Democrats are going to work all week to make sure no government shutdown comes to pass, and we urge our Republican colleagues to work with us. On debt limit. Also, Mr. President, soon the Senate must take action to assure that the United States does not default on its sovereign debt for the first time in history. I recently had a good conversation with the Republican leader about this issue, and I expect to continue those talks on achieving a bipartisan solution to addressing the debt limit. By now, we know the dangers of an unprecedented default. Secretary Yellen has warned that failure to extend the debt ceiling would eviscerate our economic recovery and says our country could yet again slip into, quote, a deep recession. Both parties know that this is simply unacceptable, and so I look forward to achieving a bipartisan solution to addressing the debt limit soon.
And here is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer also speaking on the stimulus package, the Build Back Better package, which is in the Senate, which is going to go through several different changes here in the Senate.
This week, Senate Democrats will focus on continuing to meet with the parliamentarian so we can finish making the technical and procedural fixes necessary for reconciliation. Once that is complete, it will be time to bring Build Back Better here to the floor of the Senate. I've said many times before that nobody should expect legislation of this magnitude to be easy. We've been at the task for several months. But we need to take a step back and recognize that we're hopefully less than a month away from enacting on the largest investment in American people we've seen in generations. Here's what we're going to do in this bill. Lower the cost of child care. Make pre-K universally accessible. Cut taxes for parents and working and middle-class families, and take the next bold step in our fight against the climate crisis. All this we want to tackle before the Christmas break, so we'll keep working this weekend until we get it done. I yield the floor.
So yeah, they are already working on the stimulus package in the Senate right now. Really, they're working on a lot of different things in the Senate. Of course, they voted on the National Defense Authorization Act in the Senate, what, about 48 hours ago. That did not pass to fund the military. Um, they got to do that just to fund the military here by the end of the month. They got to do that. They got to fund the government by the end of the week to prevent a government shutdown by Friday. Less than 48 hours away at this point. We have the debt limit by December 15th. Man, we got really a lot going on here that they deadlines all over the place here. So yeah, you can see here, senators huddle on path forward for SALT tax deduction in the spending bill. They're working on a lot of things in the stimulus package that they don't always give us details on. So the SALT tax stands for state and local tax deduction. Okay. This does not stand for table salt. A lot of people think that it stands for it's state and local tax deduction. Okay. And that is something that a lot of Democrats in the House are demanding it be in the bill, or they're not going to vote for it. And some Democrats in the Senate are saying, no, it needs to be changed a little bit. So that is something that they're working on right now, changing in the Senate. Yeah, you can see here a group of Senate Democrats met Tuesday to discuss how to address the state and local tax deduction in the social spending and climate package, seeking to make progress on a key issues where Democrats have yet to make an agreement. Senators said following the meeting that they did not come to a resolution on the issue, but were nonetheless upbeat about the discussions. Senator John Tester, a Democrat from Montana, said he thinks there is a path forward. Senator Bernie Sanders similarly told reporters that it was a good discussion. Republicans created a $10,000 cap on the SALT tax deduction in their 2017 Trump tax cuts that they passed through reconciliation when they had control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. The cap has long been disliked by lawmakers in high tax states such as New York and New Jersey, who argues it punishes their states and their residents. But some progressives, such as Bernie Sanders, as well as moderates, such as Tester, have raised concern that undoing the cap would amount to a tax cut for some high-income households. The House version of the social spending bill would raise the cap from 10,000 to 80,000, but many senators have raised concern about this, saying it would be too beneficial for the wealthy. Senator Sanders and Bob Mendez earlier this month floated an alternative idea where the cap would remain at $10,000, but would be an exemption for households under a certain level so that it really won't benefit very high income, wealthy people. Yeah, so like I said, there's just really a lot of things going on here in the Senate. As always, email, tweets, call your representatives, let them know, what you want to have added into this bill or changed in this bill. They're your representatives that were elected by the people. I'm out here putting out the word for you guys, letting you know I'm a platform here for you guys. But I'm not an elected official, so I'm not voting on the bill. I do a lot here for you guys, but I am not actually voting on the bill. I do have a large voice here as a platform for you guys, but tweet, email, call your representatives. So as always, they're your representatives. They're the ones voting for you guys. Just remember that the Democrats are probably going to pass this bill on their own. There's probably not going to be a single Republican vote on this. And that's what happened in the House. Not a single Republican voted for this. And just so everybody remembers, not a single Republican voted for the third stimulus check package that had the $1,400 stimulus checks. Yeah, that was passed all by Democrats as well. Whether you agree with that or not agree with that, just that's just kind of the way things are right now. But yeah, there's also going to be another stimulus package probably after this. President Biden has already said, and there's also probably going to be there's two new bill proposals to raise Social Security benefits by a lot, several $100s per month after this as well. And in this bill, there's probably going to be several different provisions, like $25 billion more of rent assistance. And in fact, the Treasury Department is actually kind of shifting around rent assistance right now from some of the states and areas that are not spending the money. I discussed that in a previous video, like yesterday or so. So the Treasury Department is kind of we're going to be taking some of the money from areas or states that aren't spending the money and going to be shifting it to maybe some of the locations that are actually distributing it. So, yeah, I'll keep you up to date on that. And there's going to be probably $25 billion more of rent assistance coming out here in this next stimulus package. There's also $9.9 billion available for homeowners assistance and 500 to about $1,500 available per person for utility assistance. So all the links for that is down below in the description of this video. I'll link you to that here or to a couple of those videos here at the end of this video as well. But there's all sorts of programs like this available that I will keep you up to date here as we go forward with new videos. All sorts of programs like this are going to be available here going forward, even after this next stimulus package. There's all sorts of programs like this going forward. There's state stimulus checks, state stimulus programs, county programs, city programs. Remember, there was $350 billion available from the third stimulus check program, or third stimulus check package, and like 80% of that money is still available. Most of the states are just kind of figuring out what to do with that money now. They're just kind of doing their annual budgets for 2022. We have three different states right now sending out state stimulus checks. We have California sending out $600 state stimulus checks and $1,100 if you have a child. We have Maine sending out the $285 state stimulus checks for the state of Maine. And then we also have Illinois getting ready or have a new proposed stimulus check for $200 for individuals and $400 for married filing jointly or couple state tax returns. So $400 for a joint tax return. That's a new proposed state stimulus check that has just come out here like in the last few days. So that's three different states stimulus checks, and we're hopefully going to see a lot more. We've had some in the past last year as well. So I think we're going to probably see a lot more because like literally 80% of that money is still available. And we have different cities doing this as well. Universal basic income programs, and we're probably going to see a lot more of this in 2022 with different stimulus programs as well. So I'm going to keep you up to date with all these new different type of things going forward, as well as the next stimulus package and pretty much daily news you need to know about. So make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m. 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribing is completely free to do so. You can also share this video down below with your friends and family so they know about these programs and they can subscribe to the channel as well. You can click here to watch my newest stimulus video next. And this top video is how to apply for rent assistance. I show you how to do it. It's completely free to do so. It just takes some of your time and you have to know how to do it. And this bottom video is how to apply for utility assistance. And in the description of this video down below is how to apply for homeowners assistance. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.